Now I would like to introduce you our CPAP system. And for this model, first I will introduce you the configuration and the installation. When you get the machine, it will be separated into two wooden cases. And then the first thing you will take out the main engine, also we call it the ventilator. And then you can take out the air compressor with the trolley from the second wooden cases. And then the only thing for your installation is first we will put this main engine on side of the trolley. And then by the bottom side there are 4 screws. And you just tighten all of the screws. And then the ventilator installation is finished. And the next step, we will put in on this hanger. And you can see by the left side, also the right side, we both have the frame. And actually it can depend on your patient ward position and also the space. So you can decide if you want to put the hanger on left side or right side. And we just move the hanger easily on this frame, and then we tightly rotate this black item to make it tightly on it, and then it cannot be moved. And then we will connect for the breathing circuit. As we all know, for this machine it's being used for the neonatal and also children. So we are using the children or neonatal pipeline. And for the pipeline, we have 3 short ones and 2 long ones. And the first one we will connect with the inspiration port, and another side with the humidifier port. And then the second one we connect with another humidifier port, and then this one connected with the expiration port. And then we will use the water trap to do a combination with the 2 pipelines together. And finally, by the end, we will use the nasal plug to make it very easy. And we can put this nasal plug on the baby's head, the face, and they can breathe in the gas very easy from the nose. So all of the installation is finished like this. And then I would like to introduce the configuration for this machine. For the configuration, first side is the biggest one. This we call it the ventilator. And then with the humidifier. And the humidifier is being consist of 2 parts, the water trap and the basement. And the next part will be the air compressor. And by the end will be the trolley. And the trolley is with 4 brakes. And also there, the 2 of the front one has the brake. And once you step down, and the machine will be very steady and cannot be moved. And if you want to move it, just put on the brakes again, and then it can be moved very flexible. Now I will introduce the machine itself. After all of the gas connection, and then we can open the machine. And the power is by the bank side. And now we switch on. And we will see it get into the standby interface. And then here, for the screen, it has a 3.5 LED screen. And by the screen, we have the monitoring parameters. For example, like the oxygen concentration, it will be shown here. And also the alarms for the oxygen concentration, the upper limit and the lower limit. Also for this, we can set for it. And for the first one here, this one is for setting the alarms. Once we press it, you can see the light will be on the 100. And then we can use the up and down to move it. For example, now if we're setting by 98, then it means once the oxygen concentration is above 98, it will give the alarms. And after all of the setting, we can press the middle side to confirm. And for the second button here is for the mute button, because we know sometimes if the machine has any problem, it will give the alarms, and maybe it will influence the patient resting. But if the doctors think actually the alarms will not influence the using of the machine, and also will not cause any damage to the patient, and then they can just get it to be silent, then we can press the mute button. And then here we'll have a symbol here to remind the doctors. And the third button here is for confirm. And then also I will let you know how to adjusting for the oxygen concentration, because we know in different countries actually the oxygen concentration in the atmosphere is different. For example, in China we get it 20.3 or 20.4, but maybe in your country it's around 21.2 or 21.3. So if we want to get all of the parameter setting and monitoring very accurate, then we must do 1 time after the installation. Then the machine can be using very accurately. And if we want to get into the oxygen concentration adjusting interface, we press the first one and the fourth button together. And then it will get into the oxygen concentration adjusting. We have 2 points here, the 21% and the 100%. So for the 21%, we will only ensure you to connecting with the air compressor without oxygen, and we press it. Then it will show complete after 10 to 20 seconds. And after the 21 point, we will do the calibration for the 100%. For the 100%, we will only connecting with the pure oxygen and without any air compressor. So after 10 to 20 seconds, it will also show complete. After all of it shown complete, then the oxygen calibration will be finished. It's very easy. For this pressure gauge here, this one is for you to monitoring the airway pressure, and from the airway pressure we can know the patient pressure and how is the patient using, and if we need to increase or decrease the pressure or the parameters. And the oxygen concentration will be shown on the screen directly. Then from here we can see there is the flow meter, and for this one we can set in for the flow, and as you can see by the mechanical flow meter here, the range can be 2 to 20 liters per minute. So actually it's already a very wide range for different kind of the neonatal, including the pediatric. And this button is for setting the pressure, the CPAP, the continuous positive airway pressure. And we can just move the button from here, the lowest to the highest, like this. This port will be the expiration port, and here, this one is also very important. We must ensure this pipeline is being connecting very well, and you should see another side. We must connect by this port. This pipeline is very important because we know this one is the pressure sampling line. Actually here it's showing a symbol by P, it means the pressure. So if we want to use the machine properly and we want to testing and monitoring the pressure from the patient end, we must connecting the pressure sampling line. And this port is the inspiration port. Here this button is also very important. It's for adjusting the oxygen concentration. And you can see there is the meters by here. It's from 21% to 100%. So you can give different patients with the different oxygen concentration they need. Even the SpO2 of them has some problem, we can get it to a big range from 80 to 100 and to recover their SpO2 as soon as possible. Now let me introduce you about the humidifier. And for the humidifier, as we can see, there are two parts. So for the first part, it's also very easy for you to put inside the water. We just press the blue item and we can easily move out the water trap. And inside of the water trap, you can see there is the black line here. So always the water should not be beyond this line, and we can put it inside of the water, then it will be okay. And after you are putting inside the water, you just move this, press the blue item and move inside again, then it will be easy here. After you are putting in the water, then we will connect with the basement and we just do the adjusting by here. And usually we will use our 2 fingers to adjusting very easy, and we always will choosing between 2 to 3, because usually if the setting parameter is from 2 to 3, it means the temperature from the pipeline will around 37 degrees. It's around the body temperature, so the patient will be most safety and comfortable. So it can very easy to use the machine. And here is connecting the temperature probe sensor, and the temperature will be shown by the digital meter very clearly here. Then I will introduce for the air compressor, as this machine is equipped with the air compressor for standard. So I want to tell you the advantage of our air compressor. First, we can see here we are using the digital screen to showing the inlet pressure of air directly. So now it's showing the 0.38, and usually actually from 0.38 to 0.4, all okay to use the machine, and it's already been setting before the shipment, so you can use it directly, no need for any other adjusting. And then we can see the back side of the machine. So as you can see, the back side of the machine here, it has 2 auxiliary power sockets and 1 of the main power. For the main power, we will connect with the AC power, and another 2 one we can connect with the main engine by here. And the second one, we will connect with our humidifier by here. So that means for this machine, actually all of the power socket we will connect with our air compressor directly, so the lines won't cross over. The only line you need to connect with the AC power is the main power socket. Then it will be finished. And then we will see the air inlet, the gas source. So you can see there are two air gas source ports by here. So why there are two? Because it's also an advantage. As we already have the air compressor, so here we can connect one side by this port and then another side with our air port. So for this one, if your hospital have the central air supply or you have the medical air cylinder, then we can connect another line from here with your central air supply or your medical air cylinder. Then it means you have connecting with two air sources. One is from your cylinder or central air, another one is our air compressor. So our air compressor will automatically testing if your central air is failure or not. If your central air supply is giving the medical air, then our air compressor will stop. And if any failure from the other gas source, then our air compressor will automatically starting and giving the medical air. So it will ensure always the patient will get the gas inside and keep them safety, no dangerous. And also for this air compressor, actually the silence, the noisy dB is very, very low. We know usually from the market you can see the air compressor when you open it, there are much noisy around 50 dB or 60 dB, but for our air compressor actually it's only less than 40 dB. So it can ensure the baby or the neonatal or the children, they can sleep in very well and also will not disturb the nurses and doctors. For this handle here, we can see there are three angles. The first one, second one, and the third one. So from each of the angle, actually you can adjusting the different positions, because we want that we know sometimes the patient ward or the NICU, maybe it's not enough space, or sometimes maybe it's very big. So actually you can just adjusting it like you want to save the space. And by the end here, we are using this black item to holding the pipelines, so the pipelines will not pour down on the floor and will always keep steady and clean. And then we will see this pipeline. For the pipeline, we are using the reusable one. So for the pipeline, actually it can be cleaned under 134 degrees with any other medical items from the autoclavable machine. So it's very easy for you to use for a long time. And usually, as our experience for this kind of the reusable one, actually you only need to change it after 2 months or 3 months. But for example, it also depending on your using frequency. And here, by the end of the pipeline, which we will connect with the baby's face, this is the nasal plug. And for this nasal plug, actually we have several types. And actually usually we have 5 types, from 0, 0.51, 1.52, and 3. So for different baby's face, we were using different sizes for them to use very properly. Also inside of this machine, when you take out the cover of the machine, and you will see inside the gas circuit and the electrical circuit is separate design. It means all of the tubes and the electric lines won't cross over. So if there is any problem for the machine, when you open the cover, we will find the problem exactly and giving the replacement of the spare parts. So out of the lines, you don't need to take out all of the lines and change, and then maybe we will forget how to connect it again. So it can keep the machine very long time the using life. And usually for our machine can be used at least for 8 to 10 years. Also for this machine, the power voltage is from 100 to 240 volts. It means even your local voltage or the power is not very stable, still you can using our machine very well. So you don't need to worry about anything. So this will be the main introduction for the machine. Thank you.